can do. Whatever it is you choose, whatever you want is up to you. I believe in you. I believe that you can do whatever it is you choose. Whatever you want is up to you. Imagine what happens if you put your whole all into it. No matter the circumstance, you never allowed yourself to quit. Imagine what happens if you put your whole all into it. No matter the circumstance, you never allowed yourself to quit. 'Cause I believe in you. I believe that you can do whatever it is you choose. Whatever you want is up to you. I believe in you. I believe that you can do whatever it is you choose. Whatever you want is up to you.
So happy to be here, finally living with no fear. I'm living my best year, so glad I didn't give up in last year. I'm happy that you're here too, so happy to be with you. Glad that you made it through, I saw that you made it through. I'm happy to be here, I'm finally living with no fear. I'm living my best year, so glad I didn't give up in last year. I'm happy that you're here too, so happy to be with you. So glad that you made it through, I saw that you made it through. I don't know if you hear it enough, but I want you to know that this song is about you. I'm saying you're more than enough. If you looked at yourself, you would be fucking proud of you. Get that weight off your chest, let it go, let it flow. Let it roll off your shoulders. Don't be scared to be loud, to be proud, to be bold, to be more than they told ya. It's like jumping out of airplanes and swimming with the sharks. That existential feeling when you're staring at the stars. There's a hurricane in my head, but the lightning in my heart makes it worth it. Yeah, I still get nervous when you drop in the stream and you check out this life is. Yeah, it feels like the very first time I can build with you forever. I am certain, yeah, 'cause I still get nervous when we all get the point in the fireworks, blasting the sparks through the air like the 4th of July. I can build with you forever, I am certain, yeah, 'cause I still get nervous. So happy to be here, finally living with no fear. I'm living my best year, so glad I didn't give up in last year. I'm happy that you're here too, so happy to be with you. Glad that you made it through, I saw that you made it through. I don't know if you hear it enough, but I want you to know that this song is about you. I'm saying you're more than enough. If you looked at yourself, you would be fucking proud of you. Get that weight off your chest, let it go, let it flow. Let it roll off your shoulders. Don't be scared to be loud, to be proud, to be bold, to be more than they told you. It's like flying in the fast lane, no headlights in the dark. That existential feeling makes you wonder who you are. There's a wild wind in my head, but the butterflies in my heart makes it worth it. 'cause I still get nervous when you drop in the stream and you check out this life. And yeah, it feels like the very first time I can build with you forever. I am certain, yeah. 'Cause I still get nervous when we all get the point and the fireworks flashing and sparks through the air like the 4th of July. I can build with you forever, I am certain, yeah. 'Cause I still get nervous. Ooh. Hey! 'Cause I still get nervous. Hey! 'Cause I still get nervous. 'Cause I still get nervous. 'Cause I still get nervous. We all get the point and the fireworks flashing and sparks through the air like the 4th of July. 'Cause I still get nervous when you drop in the stream and you check out this life and it feels like the very first time.
Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Sessions. I'm your host, Darante LaMar, and I'm honored to be here welcoming you to a new year, a new month, and a new series. If you're new here, we are Bridge City, a forward-thinking, people-centric community of individuals committed to connecting better, building better, and living better. Wherever you are in the world or wherever you are on your journey, we're creating space and opportunity for you to connect and build with others while growing at your own pace and in your own direction. We're not waiting on the future to imagine better community. We're practicing it now. We're building bridges to better understanding, deeper empathy, and more honest connection so people everywhere can reclaim their authentic existence and contribute to the world on their own terms. Every Sunday, we gather to celebrate our humanity while engaging conversations that strengthen our capacity to be the bridges to better. We're currently in our Life's Big Questions series, inspired by one of our campus clubs. And all month long, we're tackling the big questions about life, fear, identity, and certainty. What better way to kick off the new year than to face those hard questions with new frameworks of freedom and the language of liberation? If you've been looking for community where people are the point, you found it. We are connected by our shared humanity, regardless of beliefs, creeds, or backgrounds. We are a global community of people, no labels needed. So whether this is your first time here or you've been part of the bridge for a while, welcome in. My hope is that something in this weekend's experience provides connection for your life, clarity for your mind, and comfort for your authentic self. Before we get into today's conversation, let's check into Bridge City News.
Hey, Bridge City, happy Sunday, or whatever it is, whatever day it is on your side of the world. My name is Bob Swanson. I'm here to give you a look at what's happening across our community. There's a lot growing, shifting, and unfolding, and I want to make sure you're in the loop. Now, if you're in the Los Angeles or Atlanta area, it's time to build the bridge in your city. We are actively looking for leaders, hosts, and team members who are ready to be the bridge by providing a better way to connect, build, and live for your local community. What does that look like? Well, it looks like meeting and working with a local team to host weekly Sunday session watch parties in alignment with the global campus as you introduce others to the mission of Bridge City and the heart of your team. Beyond that, as your community grows, the sky's the limit. The global team will be with you every step of the way, providing support on Sundays, training for teams, templates for systems, and even licensing your leaders as you navigate launching your campus. If you're ready for a challenge that will create change in your city, this opportunity is perfect for you. Introduce yourself on the global campus, let us know which city you're in and how you're ready to help. That introduction is your entry point. And P.S., the Los Angeles crew is already meeting monthly for local mixers and virtual roundtables, so now is the perfect time to join the party. Speaking of watch parties, regardless of where you are in the world, if you're wanting to bring Bridge City to your home or city with a Sunday session watch party, we'd love to support you. If you have space, a screen, and a few people in mind to invite, you're a perfect candidate to put your city on the map. We can help with planning, promotion, and everything in between. Just introduce yourself on the global campus and send a message to our head of community, Ashley Wilmore. Now, mark your calendars for the first Sunday in February. We're going to be watching Idiocracy together. Did you ever hear that movie? What started as absurd comedy has quietly aged into social commentary. It's funny until it's familiar. A film about anti-intellectualism, corporate overreach, and leadership by spectacle feels, well, a little too close to home in a world where policy can shift culture overnight. Come laugh, come think, come sit with the uncomfortable question of how close ridiculous is to real. And most importantly, come and breathe and enjoy the chaos together. The RSVP is open. Now, if you're new here and wondering how to get connected with our community, follow the link on the screen to meet us on our global campus. It's a virtual space where our members from around the planet gather to connect to the mission and each other. There are clubs, events, and activities that you can plug into and start building new friendships while helping building community together. The most important first step is, of course, introducing yourself. It helps us to get to know you, and it helps you feel like you're entering a real community, not a comment section. So, as soon as you can, head to the new member introductions area. Say hey. Now, if you've been hanging around for a while and are ready to help shape the Sunday experience, here are the clubs where you can plug in. Weekend Warriors. That's helping out on the stage or in chat on Sundays. There's also the Comms Club. That's helping out with community emails and social media content. Of course, you can always join the Production Club. That helps with the production of Sunday sessions. These teams turn ideas into reality, and we'd love to see more of you step into the mix. Every first Tuesday of the month is Giving Tuesday at Bridge City. It's a monthly reminder to our members, partners, and supporters that it is truly your generosity that allows the Bridge to reach further and support more. We currently do not require dues, fees, or tithes from our members because we prefer a model where giving is authentic and has no strings attached. The weekly and major support of those who can is greatly appreciated and always needed. But our monthly Giving Tuesdays is an opportunity for us all to participate in supporting the Bridge for tomorrow and the years to come. Now, if Sunday session content just isn't enough for you, feel free to check out some recently released videos. Darante LaMar came and spoke on the Mississippi State University campus back in October. Videos from his presentation, Confessions of an Ex-Pastor, and the discussion audience question and answer that followed are now available. And if you're a student looking for secular community, check out the Secular Student Alliance. They can help you build a bridge on your campus. That's everything for this week. This is a great opportunity to share the stream before the conversation starts. And if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you for being the bridge. Let's get to the conversation. Back to you, Darante.
Wow, y'all. Y'all, I got to be honest with you. Every Sunday, I'm excited to see the news. I think the news is becoming like one of my favorite segments. How are y'all doing out there? Happy Sunday. I hope y'all are doing well. It's the second Sunday of the year. I am truly excited to be here, to be a part of this conversation, to be with y'all this morning. We are in our Life's Big Questions series. And before I jump into it too much, excuse me, we're starting something a little new because we're growing, and man, growth just feels beautiful. It's so great to see you all out there. People are attaching to the vision, to the mission, and people are starting to run with it. A major shout out to our growing production team right now, which is basically Zernial, Bob, and Ashley. So it's just like, excuse me, I love this. It's the highlight of my day. Teamwork makes the dream work, and it brings an entirely different energy to everything that we do. Listen, if you're here for the first time, if you're a first-time guest, let me know. No, seriously, is this your first time being with us for a Sunday session? Is this your first time meeting with Bridge City? If it is, we have something special for you, and I'd love for you to check it out, man. We have a link on the screen. This is something we're doing different. I told y'all I wanted our member experience to be like Disney World meets saving the world. And it really starts with the guest experience. So if you're a guest here today If this is your first time dropping in for a Sunday session, we have a gift for you that we love to share with you. It's 100% free, and it's 100% yours. And for those of you who were first timers before we were doing this and you didn't get a chance, just pretend like it's your first time today, and you can go to the link on the screen and get your gift as well. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? So listen, if this is your first time here, or if you had a first time, it didn't feel like you got anything for it, we love to share a gift with you. Please check out that link. And yes, please check out that link on the screen, and that will take you directly there. All right, that's the guest experience portion. Let's jump into this, man. We've been in a new series. We started it last week, Life's Big Questions, where we are tackling with how do you wrestle with life's big questions? Excuse me. Especially after deconversion, or especially after deconstruction, after you've shifted your life in such a way that you're no longer a part of a paradigm that has presumed answers or pre-assumed answers, where now you really have to deal with these questions. Last week we dealt with fear. This week we're going to be dealing with identity. Next week we're going to be dealing with morality. And then the last week we're going to be dealing with purpose, because I really want us to kind of, I want us to find our strength in this. Okay. And I can't even take credit for this series. And I got to pause here and kind of parenthetically insert this because it's such a powerful moment. I can't even take credit for this series, and this is actually how this is supposed to work. The way this series comes about is one of our club organizers, actually right before they became a club organizer, they said, hey, this is an issue for me. Where do I turn to for answers right now? When I was a part of religion, when I was a part of culture, when I was a part of politics, all of my answers were already prescribed for me. You know how it is when you're part of a religion. If you're having troubles with anxiety, there's a scripture for that. You're having troubles with, with healing in your body, there's a scripture for that. And so the question, which was a fair question, is where do we go now with our life's big questions? And that can be such an uncomfortable place to be dealing with. And really at the root of that is what happens when the labels stop working. I no longer, the labels used to give me the answer, and we're not necessarily talking about in a dramatic way, but what happens when you don't necessarily feel lost, but you don't know what to say about yourself anymore? That's the question of identity. Who am I? The words you used to reach for now feel too tight. They feel restrained. They feel constrained, like they don't tell the full story. Tell the full story. The categories that once made things simple now don't explain things very well. You used to be able to say, I'm a Christian, or I'm a Muslim, or I'm a whatever, and for you, that used to be enough. This was a real struggle for me, not even just after my deconversion, but just going through deconstruction even further. And that's, who am I now? When people ask me, who am I? What do I do? It's harder to answer that question because I no longer fit in these boxes, and all of the labels and the titles that exist, they really don't do me justice. Am I talking to anybody already that the labels out there, they don't do me justice. So the categories that once made things simple don't work very well anymore. Labels used to do a lot of work for us. They told people who we were. They told us where we belonged. They help us explain ourselves without having to think too hard. And when they stopped working, it can feel unsettling. When the label is no longer who I am, it can feel unsettling. This is the natural outcome of no longer outsourcing your identity to a system that was not designed for you. Damn it, I'm talking good already. Can I get a hell yeah in the chat? This week isn't about rushing to name yourself again. It's about learning how to live without shrinking back into a box just to feel settled. It's about learning how to live without shrinking just to be accepted. It's about learning how to sit in the nuance of who you are without feeling like you have to submit to anybody else's definitions or limitations, because identity is not something you announce. Identity is something you practice. And somewhere in that practice, slowly, imperfectly, a thought starts to form. And that is that I am not in a state of being. I hope y'all are ready for this. I am not in a state of being. I am in a state of becoming. Who I am, where I am, and even why I am at any given moment revolves around such a diversity of variables that it is constantly in flux. So the question really isn't who am I, it's who am I becoming. Oh my goodness, I wish I had a community out there that was talking, that I could talk to for a moment, that the reality of who I am, the multiplicity of who I am, the multivariable dimensional nature of who I am is too much to be boxed into one word, one phrase, one label, one sentence, because I am not just in a state of being, but I am constantly in a state of becoming. I reserve the right to change my mind. I hope this is good. I hope this is good, man. Yeah. When I deconstructed, I gave myself permission to abandon certainty in favor of clarity. Okay. When I lived in the paradigm of certainty, I had to be certain that there was a God. I had to be certain that I was his child, certain that he knew the thoughts and the plans for my life, certain that his ways were so much higher than my ways, certain that without him or his representative, that I would be lost, that I would be nothing, that I would be unloved. But clarity taught me that I am not lost, because I am here. How can I be lost when I'm here? No. I cannot be lost. I am here. You think I'm lost? I found me, baby. I am here. I cannot be nothing because I exist as something. I cannot be unloved because I love myself. Have you ever had the nerve, the courage, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to say some stuff like that about yourself? That no, there is no world that exists right now that I can't be loved in. Why? Because I love myself. This is me moving from certainty to clarity. I may not be certain who else loves me, but I am 100% clear that I love myself. Can y'all handle it? Can you just say that to yourself? Like, you don't even got to type it in the chat. Just say that to yourself. No, I love myself. I am overflowing with love for myself. I got so much love for myself. I got nothing but love. So y'all gonna make me sing in a few moments. Clarity teaches us that we are not lost because we are here. We cannot be nothing because we exist as something. We cannot be unloved because we love ourselves. Labels are descriptive, but they are not conclusive. They can tell you something, but they can't tell you everything. They can tell you where I've been, but they can't tell you who I'm becoming. Oh my goodness, because contrary to popular belief, I am not a finished product crafted on some potter's wheel. I am a work in progress. I am a person unfolding into possibilities. The days before can inform the days to come, but they do not define them. They can inform the days to come, but they do not define them. So I found that the most paramount question in my life is no longer who am I? Because there is no predefined identity slot for me to fit neatly into. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Sometimes I'm nice, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm good with it, sometimes I'm not. I can't exactly tell you who I am, but I can be clear on who I am becoming. The paramount question becomes, who am I becoming? It becomes permission to view yourself through the lens of agency, autonomy, and self-approval. It transforms the inner conversation from a chamber of other people's echoes into a fortress of your own solitude, a place where your thoughts and opinions of you are elevated to priority consideration. Have you, this is too damn good right now. A place where you get to, where your thoughts and opinions for you, where the thoughts and the plans that you have for yourself are elevated to priority consideration, are elevated to preferential treatment. What I think about myself, come on now, that it has to lead the ship. Damn, this is good. Okay, so when I was on the edges of deconversion, when I was on the edges, back in 2014, I was in a counseling session with my former mentor, Pastor Mike McClure Jr. of Birmingham, Alabama, because I was wrestling with my belief in God. I was also wrestling with my obligation to stay in an unproductive marriage. I had just completed my first degree in social science and was coming to terms with the fact that a lot of the information presented in the world that I came from, like Focus on the Family, I don't know if y'all remember them, or the Abeka learning curriculums for schools, or just even the countless seminars and workshops that existed on biblical marriages, whatever the hell that is. I was coming into the realization that many of these things were nothing more than theological bullshit and pseudo-intellectual propaganda. And in the counseling session, after my mentor asked me the required questions of infidelity and neglect, is she cheating on you? Is she neglecting you? He concluded if none of those things were true, then that God had not given me permission for divorce. You know, God had not given me permission for divorce. It's not that often that you hear a story like this from this side. What's up, Kenya? Nairobi in the building. How beautiful is that? Did y'all know that Brit City is global? Come on now, y'all don't know. But he concluded that God had not given me permission for a divorce. It was in that moment that I realized that something had shifted inside of me. It was like for the first time since I was a child, I could see the programming and I was free from it. The obligation to perform compliance was dying within me. See, that's one thing you're going to have a hard time with me. I no longer have the obligation to perform compliance. If I don't get it, I don't get it. If I don't want it, I don't want it. If I don't see it, I don't see it. I'm not obligated to perform compliance. The obligation to perform compliance was dying within me, and I knew it. I knew something had shifted. I knew I was no longer performing. I knew I was no longer comfortable pretending. I knew it because of the response I gave. Oh, the response was unapologetic. It was unashamed. It was something that only a person who was comfortable with themselves could say. And I said the word so quick. And you know, if you don't know about me, I'm a beast with my words. You don't ever want to be in an argument with me. I'm a beast with my words. And I normally, I tailor my words so smooth when I'm in a conversation because I want them to hit the way that I wanted them to hit. But when these words came out of my mouth, one thing was clear, and that was, oh, damn, Darante doesn't give a damn anymore. Because the sentence I said, when he said, God has not given you permission for this, my response was, God doesn't have to live here, so he doesn't get a say. Oh, do you remember the time do you remember the time where you came into your audacity, where you came and to your sense of self, because that one sentence was a reclaiming of personal responsibility. I could no longer outsource who I was to the expectations of the labels, not the label of pastor. No, well, you're a pastor, so because you're a pastor, you're held to a higher standard. So you can't just make decisions that you think that are in your best benefit. This label prevents you from going there, not the label of Christian. Well, Darante, if you identify as a Christian, then if you are a Christian, then Christians believe. No, baby. And not even the label of God believer. My deconstruction was not just about letting go of belief. Jalapeno. It was about letting go of a life constrained by other people's labels and limitations. I could no longer live there anymore. I may not be who you think I should be, but every day I'm becoming the person that I can perpetually be proud of. Oh my goodness, I think we're slipping up onto something right here. I may not be who you think I should be, but every day I'm becoming somebody that I could wake up being proud of. Yeah. From that moment on, I realized that no one else owned my identity or my outcomes, that there were no shortcuts to being me, that I would have to live in this world and learn from it in order to be better in it. And I've been committed to that now for over a decade. And while there are those who will say, well, Darante is too much, and there will be those who will say that Darante is not enough, I can confidently say every day, and here's the topic or the title of today's conversation: I think I like who I'm becoming. You may not like who I am. You may not like who I've been. You may not even like where I've been. But what I can say confidently about myself is that I think I like who I'm becoming. I may not be where I want to be yet, but I think I like who I'm becoming. If you're not too bougie, would you go ahead and throw that in the chat real quick and just let somebody know proudly, unapologetically, unashamedly that no, I think I like who I'm becoming. I think that was a long introduction, but we made it here, didn't we? Didn't we? I think I like who I'm becoming. One of the biggest struggles for many people navigating life's big questions after faith is finding fidelity in identity, because belief and social participation in the current context of existence is largely defined by labels. Our conversations are largely driven by labels. Our relationships tend to be configured around our labels. The habits we choose to indulge or avoid or are often predetermined by our labels. Labels inform such a large segment of our lives while not being adequately informative. And I think I do want to say that again. Labels inform such a large segment of our lives while not being adequately informative. Like listen, labels can tell you some things, but they will never tell you enough. I could list out all of my labels for you: Black, African American, man, heterosexual. I can list out all of my labels for you: progressive, former Christian, anti-pastor, I could ex-pastor. I could list out all of my labels for you, every single one of high blood pressure. I could I could list out all of my labels for you, and it still really wouldn't tell you anything about me. It's still, and yet it would still inform the way the majority of people treat me. This is something that I came across when last year we did our How to Human series, which I can't wait to do that conversation series again. But when we did our How to Human series, I realized that so often we use labels as shortcuts to knowing people. And I often have to remind people that you knowing someone's label is not the same as you knowing them. Oh, this is so good. And that's really how labels work. They're often shortcuts to unearned information. if you're a note taker, that's a great thing to write down, is that labels are often shortcuts to unearned information. It's information that I didn't want to take the time to get. It's information that I maybe did not have the time to get. So either way, I did not do the work to get the information. So I took the shortcut of the label. So when you had the label of Christian, or you had the label of Muslim, or you had the label of pagan, or whatever it is, you didn't earn information on the creation of the universe and life. Your label gave you a shortcut to someone else's conclusion, which allowed you to forego the work of figuring it out. Oh, we're going somewhere. We're going somewhere with this. Your label, come on now. Thank you, production team. Labels are shortcuts to unearned information. Oh, I promise you, we're going somewhere with this. You didn't earn the information. Your label gave you a shortcut to someone else's conclusion. Okay, that's the discomfort you're feeling right now. So this is what I like to help people come to terms with, is that you did not lose your understanding of the universe. You never had an understanding of the universe. You had a shortcut to someone else's conclusion. You outsourced your understanding to a shortcut. Now, in the same manner, and I hope this is helping somebody, you did not lose your sense of self. You never had it. It was robbed from you. You outsourced yourself to the labels. You became who the labels told you who you're supposed to be. So because I identify as the label of Christian, or because I identify with the label of religious, or because I identify with the label of Muslim, then this is how I'm supposed to live. This is who I'm supposed to be. This is what my identity is supposed to be now. This is what my purpose is. Now, at that moment, you don't have a fidelity of self. You don't have a sense of self. What you have is someone else's script. You outsourced yourself, your identity, to the labels. So, beloved, the discomfort, come on now. Yes, the discomfort we often feel is not loss, it's gain. It's regaining your understanding. It's reacclimating yourself to understanding. It's reorienting yourself to understanding. Is this helping somebody? No, the discomfort you're feeling when you let go of other people's labels is not loss of your understanding. It is not loss of your sense of self. It is not loss of your identity. It is not loss of your purpose. That experience that you're feeling is the gain of responsibility of having to do the work of figuring it out yourself. Oh, I wish we was all in the same building right now. It's the discomfort of autonomy. It's the discomfort of having to figure it out, or having to admit that it doesn't matter to you. Oh, it's the discomfort of using your own eyes to see and your own ears to listen to the world unfiltered. It's the discomfort of knowing that I have to decide how I feel about that I cannot outsource that responsibility to someone else, that I have to come to terms with where I stand on that. I don't get to shortcut this. I don't get to say, well, because I'm a Democrat, or because I'm a Republican, or because I'm a Protestant, or because I'm a Catholic, or even because I'm an American, or because I'm a Kenyan, that this is the way that I have to see things. I can't see through the filter of anybody else's eyes. I've got to use my own eyes to see and my own ears to hear, and wrestle with how I feel about it. I can't let nobody else dictate my ideology from this point on. I hope this is setting somebody else free. It's the transition from being just the character and someone else's story to becoming the author of your own epic narrative, where your character is constantly in development as your story continues to unravel. It's the freedom to no longer rush the conclusion. It's the freedom to no longer have to jump to the outcome. It's the freedom to breathe in the story. To be able to say, my character does not know this yet because my character has not come across that yet. And that's what you tricked me into before. You tricked me into accepting conclusions that I had not wrestled with yet. No, it's the freedom to no longer rush the conclusion. Jalapeno. Jalapeno. It's the discomfort of using your own eyes and using your own ears. Who you are only matters in the light of who you're becoming. Where you've been only matters in the light of where you're going. It's permission to see yourself in flux. It's the permission to see yourself on a journey. It's a permission to understand that where you are today may not be where you will be tomorrow, and to give yourself permission to figure that out, to believe, to understand that there is no pre-written configuration of your life, that you get the opportunity to figure it out on your own, that you get the opportunity to own your story. And yes, it's scary, but it's only scary because this moment has been robbed from you for so long. Jalapeno, habanero. Yeah, this is good. Can I get a hell yeah? So this seems like the perfect spot to drop in today's first big point. First big point. You're too big for labels. Okay, you're too big for labels. You can tell me all your labels, and that don't tell me anything about you. It don't tell me your why. It don't tell me your when. It don't tell me your how. It tells me what group you identify with, but it doesn't even tell me which part of that group you identify with. It tells me what group you identify with, but it doesn't even tell me what you do, what you're willing to do, how you currently contribute. You're too big for the labels. They don't work. They're not enough. If there's one word, goodness gracious, if there is one word that you could use as an identifier, that one word is your name. Oh my goodness. I hope somebody just felt that. No. If there is one word that I need to tell you my identity, Darante, who are you? Oh, great. You just said it. I am Darante. That is who I am. That's the word that's going to give you all of me. You got it? The point is, you're too big for the labels. What happens to identity when the labels that once defined us stop working? Because if we be honest, for a long time, the label did work. Whatever it was, Christian, believer, progressive, skeptic, activist, the strong one, the faithful one, the forgiving one, the loving one, the tolerant one. For a long time, the labels did work. For a long time, it was nice to be known as the nice one. And then you realize, like, dang, I don't think I want to be the nice one all the time, though. I think sometimes I want to be able to stand on business, as the young folks used to say. The label gave you language. It gave you a place to stand. It gave you a shortcut explanation for who you were in the moment, in the context of the conversation. And for a while that worked, but eventually something shifted. And as you begin to grow and know yourself, the label stopped holding the complexity of who you actually are. I don't know, and maybe that's a personal problem, but I wrestle with labels with me because they're just never enough. See, like me, I already know I'm too big for the labels. No, I'm too big for the labels, you know. Oh, I love that, Ashley. Labels are great as training wheels to help get you started. But there's certain things that you may want to do with that bicycle. that you cannot do as long as those training wheels are on there. There's certain tricks you want to do, certain things you want to do with your life, that as long as you're limiting yourself to there, okay? And the true problem comes in not with just the discomfort, but the disorientation that often follows. Because when the label stops working, most people feel like something went wrong on the inside of them. Oh man. Oh yeah, like if I'm not this anymore, who am I now? Right? So like real talk, let me get naked. That's definitely, as an ex-preacher, I can't say ex-preacher, I'm a current preacher. But as an ex-pastor, I was like, who am I now? I've been using my voice to inspire people, to motivate people, to challenge people, to coach people, to counsel people for my entire life. If I'm not Darante LaMar Martin, who is the pastor of some progressive church, who am I? And how do I come to terms? And how do I come to terms with who I am? And I wrestled with this for a while, but it was a memory that kind of unlocked it for me. I'm taking you down memory lane. It was a memory because honestly, I wrestled with it. I had to try to figure out, and hopefully this is helping somebody. I had to try to figure out, okay, have I been the one forming me, or was I formed by the church? How much of me is me, and how much of me were my mentors? How much of me were the churches that I flocked to? Like, do I do this because this is my personality, or do I do this because I thought that this was expected of me? And what I realized when I went down memory lane, when I wrestled with myself, when I got into the work of knowing and growing myself, when I got into the work, I realized, bruh, you've been preaching ever since you had a voice, long before you identified with Christianity, long before you identified with church, long before you identified with the role of pastor. This is who you were. That just became the easiest vehicle, the most accessible vehicle that already matched who you were becoming. I'm talking now, y'all. I'm talking. That just became the most accessible vehicle. No, you go through these things of who am I now? How much of that was me? How much of that was them? And what replaces that? What do I even call myself now? Darante. My wife did a conference a few years ago, and it was called Call Me by My Name. Ooh, and it was a powerful conference for women empowerment, for women, especially in the Southern biblical context. It's very easy to get confined to a role. It's very easy to get confined to a title. I am mother, I am sister. It's very easy to get confined to other people's expectations. But it was a reminder, a clarion call to say, no, call me by my name. Because yes, I'm a father. Yes, I'm a brother. Yes, I'm a son. But please understand, I'm all of that and a bag of chips. There is more to me than the normal. You can't just judge this particular book by the cover, because there are several volumes to this. Okay, so here's the truth most of us never hear. You didn't lose yourself when the labels stopped working. The labels failed because you finally outgrew them. Yeah, it says something about me. It just doesn't say enough about me. It's been no secret. Every time I say it the same way, but I'm a former Black nationalist. I'm also a former Pan-Africanist. I still have Pan-Africanist leanings. I still have Black nationalist leanings in my politics. All right. I just typically don't use the labels anymore because it tells you something about me, but it doesn't tell you everything about me. Like, I can remember the moment crossing that line within myself where I'm thinking like, oh yeah, because we were building all these projects, making sure that African American kids had access to culture. And then I was like, oh damn, but like, because we had Hispanic neighbors on one side and European neighbors on the other side. And I was like, I wouldn't want them to be robbed of culture. And so while Pan-Africanist does explain one part of me, it also in other people's minds can create exclusionary limitations that don't exactly exist in my mind. Do y'all see how that thing works? So sometimes the labels failed because you outgrew them. Okay. The labels stopped working because you became something bigger. It's like, yeah, I am that, but I'm also something else. Yeah, I am concerned with this, but I'm also concerned about these other things too. And I'm realizing, damn, that I am big enough, wide enough, and deep enough to hold a multiplicity of concerns. Is this good, y'all? I hope this is setting somebody free. Labels are tools. They are not containers for a whole human life. They work. They work when life is simple. They break when you become more honest, more curious, and more layered in your approach to the world. The more, this is good. That's why the reality is it's not really time to get better labels. It's time to get better tools. It's time to get better tools. It's time to get comfortable doing the work. It's time to get comfortable actually figuring it out. And it's also time to get comfortable, as I said earlier, just admitting when it ain't even that important to you. Nope, it don't even matter to me. Some people, we act like how did the universe get here is like one of the most important questions in the world. We do. We act like that. But statistically, not that many people care. Seriously. I mean, honestly, don't give a damn. Just wake up and be here. Okay? I might be one of those people. I'm curious, but not seriously curious. Like, I'm not trying to pursue my degree in astrophysics. I am trying to finish up my doctorate in sociology. So that tells you where my interest is. It's time to get better tools. But see, that's why this feels like grief, because something that once gave you clarity doesn't anymore. So you don't actually lose yourself, okay? What you lose is the illusion of certainty. What you lose is the illusion of clarity. What you lose is pretending to know what you actually didn't know, which now gives you the opportunity to figure it out. And that can feel disorienting, but disorientation isn't always a loss. It is an invitation to expansion, okay? When the label cracks, space opens. Space opens. I don't think I'd be doing the work that I'm doing now if the label of Pan-Africanism didn't crack for me. Because that label cracked for me, I could see the greater label of humanism. But then even humanism, it got some cracks in that labels. Because I have a beagle and he's amazing and I care about him too. And then like animals are just attracted to me. All right. This is why it's so important to realize that the labels, they're temporary shortcuts. They are descriptive. They are not informative. Okay. So what you're getting as the labels begin to crack, when you're asking those questions, well, who am I now without religion? Who am I now without faith? Who am I now without certainty? And then make it clear, it's not without certainty, it's without unearned certainty. And you make it clear because that way you remind yourself, I didn't have certainty before. I didn't have certainty that a heaven existed. I didn't have certainty that a hell existed. I didn't have certainty that a God existed. I had a label that did the work for me. And so when the labels begin to crack, goodness gracious, space opens up. You get space to ask better questions, space to live without performing an identity, space to stop shrinking yourself just to be legible to other people. Well, if I don't know who I am, other people won't know who I am. Yeah, that's typically how that works. because you got to figure it out before they figure it out. Otherwise, you're running the risk of other people telling you who to be before you're comfortable with who you are. And that's the whole thing that's wrong with this system in the first place, is that you end up having people telling you who to be when you don't even know who you are. You know? So you didn't lose yourself. You're finally living in the room to be yourself. You're finally living in the space to become yourself. Someone who doesn't fit neatly, someone who doesn't need a shortcut explanation, someone who's comfortable without being a child's coloring book. No, you're not going to get me that quickly. I'm a long read, okay? Someone who can be unfinished without being unstable. To be able to sit in the discomfort of being able to say, you know what? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know where I stand on that. I don't know where I live. I'm unfinished there. But that doesn't mean I'm unstable. That's not a crisis. That's growth. It's the stretching and building of long neglected muscles, which brings us to point number 2. It's your box to open. Identity, clarity of self, fidelity of self, purpose, determination, your box to open. Self-determination is your box to open. This is a hard pill to swallow because we do live in a cultural context, especially for those of us in the Western Hemisphere, where life is predefined for you. You know? And I like to tell people that often success lives outside of predefined parameters. Damn, this is good. Okay, this ain't even my notes. But success lives outside of predefined parameters. Okay? See, like that's what breaking a record is. Whew. Breaking a record is moving beyond the predefined parameters. The predefined parameters said this is the best we could do. This is the furthest we can go. This is the fastest we could run. This is the highest we can jump. This is the best that we could ever hope for. But success is looking at that predefined parameter and saying that may be somebody else's truth, but it doesn't have to be my truth. That may be somebody else's outcome, but it doesn't have to be my outcome. Look, that may be your story, and I like that's your story. I'm gonna let you finish your story, but just because that's your story doesn't mean it has to be my story. Your story is your box to open. My story is my box to open. It's the ultimate question of, is identity something we discover or something we practice over time? After the labels stop working, a lot of us wait. We wait to feel like someone again. Do I get my purpose now? And I caved in a little bit to that myself. I did. I told you it took me 10 years to get comfortable being who I am. Because my biggest fear, and I've talked about this before. That's how you know I ain't scared of it no more, you know? But my biggest fear was what people would say. Yeah, I've talked about this. Is what people would say. Well, Darante, you still look like you're preaching to me. Well, I am. I still am. I very much am. Thank you, Captain Obvious. All right. Well, Darante, have you ever thought that maybe you were so good at preaching that that's just all you know how to do now? Hey, have you ever thought that you don't know me like that? Oh my goodness. Y'all, I'm doing better than y'all are responding. I waited for so long because I was concerned about what people would say, how people would treat me. People say, well, I wouldn't do all of that because you're not me. Oh, I'm me. I do what me does. Okay. So we often go through a process of waiting to feel like someone again. And it's not just feeling like someone, it's feeling like someone acceptable. It's feeling like someone tolerable. It's feeling like someone that other people would be okay with. And I had to get to the place where I got comfortable saying, and this is just the freedom of self, that I don't need you to be okay with me for me to be okay with me. I don't need your approval to do anything that I'm doing. And so people can say, hey, what Darante is doing looks too much like church to me, then hey, don't come here on Sundays. That's all I can tell for you, because you are a fully autonomous, automated individual. Use your audacity and choose to become what you want to become. I'm becoming me. And I think I like who I'm becoming. So I'm no longer waiting for certainty arise. Will people like this? Will people approve of this? No, I'm getting clarity. Is this what I want to do with my life? Is this how I want to use my time? Is this how I want to contribute to the world around me? And if the answer is yes, then that's all that matters. Whoever else thinks I'm too much or not enough, it doesn't matter, because I think I like who I'm becoming. Damn, I wish we were all together in the same room, because the band would be going crazy right now. Okay? So I stopped waiting for the moment for everything to click, because I realized that was the illusion. The illusion was needing everything to click. No, I don't need everything to click. Me knowing, see, the hard thing about knowing who we are is that you don't know who you're becoming yet. You know, this is so good. Identity doesn't normally work the way that we think it does. There isn't a version of you hidden somewhere waiting to be uncovered. There's no sealed envelope with your name on it. There's no destiny that you're supposed to accidentally stumble into on the right day because of mysterious ways and all that jazz. Now, that doesn't mean that life is meaningless. It's a reminder that we are the meaning makers. You're not below the meaning, you're above them. Damn. I wish we were in the same room and we had a band right here, because this is where I'd absolutely lose my heathenish mind. You're not below the meaning, baby. You're above the meaning. You got to change your position. You got to change your seat. See, labels put you beneath the meaning. I'm trying to give you your sovereignty back, where you realize you're not the receiver of meaning. You're the meaning maker. You sit above the meaning, not below the meaning. You sit above the meaning, not below the meaning. Meaning does not flow to you. Meaning flows from you. So no, life is not meaningless. It means that meaning is lived, not revealed. Identity isn't something you discover, it's something you practice. Practice what you preach. I'm tempted to go Barry White. I'm gonna leave it alone. You practice it in the choices that you make and the values you live, even before you can explain them, and how you treat people when there is no label that's watching. See, that's where a lot of us get stuck. See, I realized I had stopped believing long before I was comfortable saying I stopped believing. Like I could remember small moments, just little funny moments, right? Little funny moments, like sitting down at the table to eat and getting ready to say my grace over the food, and then looking around and realize ain't nobody in here. That's one of them Freudian slips where you just realize, bro, you don't believe this. It's so good, man. Your identity is lived. Your language don't always catch up with it, but your life will. You know, this is where a lot of us get stuck. We think, once I figure out who I am, then I'll live like it. And that's why so many of us are waiting for others to treat us like who we want to be, to have permission to be that. But in reality, it don't really work that way. Okay? It really works the other way around. You have to make the decision, let me just live like I deserve to be here. Let's breathe in that for a moment. If we were in the same building and the band was here, I'd have them go into some heavy strings right now, just so that we could all breathe into that moment, that we can have a meditative, reflective moment together as a community. And we don't have that right now, but let's just take this moment and say, just sit in that. Let me just live like I deserve to be here. Let me just live like I have a right to be here. Let me just live like I'm here. And what I do while I'm here, how I do while I'm here, doesn't have to be predefined by anybody else, because I am here. And I am impacted by everything that here comes with. Y'all, let me just live like I deserve to be here. Period. And wish a motherfucker would try to stop me. I'm sorry, I had to do it. All right, so let me just live jalapeno, habanero. Let me just live like I deserve to be here. All right, you live, you choose, you respond, and then identity begins to take shape. You practice who you are until you are okay with who you are. It's your story. It's your box to open. That's why waiting to feel like someone can quietly keep you frozen. That was kind of like where I was for 10 years. I was still productive. I was still building things. I was still building out plans. But man, I was frozen because I wasn't sure. Oh, shit. I wasn't sure if there was room for my identity. That was what I had to wrestle with. Darante, is there room for a you? Because let's be honest, bruh, you a lot. You a lot, bruh. And people may not like that. People in the atheist space may feel like that's just way too churchy, bruh. And I'm like, dang, that's wild, because half of the stuff you think is church is culture. No. So I said, no, let me just live like I deserve to be here. Like nobody else gets to decide who I'm going to be in advance. Nobody else gets to determine by their dislikes and by their preferences who I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. And I hope, and I'm out of my notes a little bit, and I hope that by doing this, that I light a fire in other people who realize I don't have to wait for permission to become. I don't have to wait for other people to treat me like I deserve to be here for me to start treating me like I deserve to be here. Come on now. Can I get a hell yeah? You live, you choose, you respond, and that is how your identity takes shape. You don't become yourself by standing still. You become yourself by moving imperfectly, honestly, and in real time. You become yourself by adapting, by adjusting, by falling down, by bouncing back. There was, in the illusion, in the superstitious version of identity, there is a you who never makes mistakes. There's a you who never falls down. And it's that illusion that's actually keeping you from becoming. It's the fall downs and the bounce backs that's a part of the story. It's all a part of who you are. I know there are parts in your story that you wish would have never happened, and I understand, but life does not work that way. It's there now. It's a part of your story. It's a part of your falling down, but it's a part of your getting up. It's a part of your bouncing back. It is a part of your identity. When I was still within my religious belief, I had to realize that bouncing back was something that I do. I wrote a song a few years ago. You'll get to hear it soon. But it was like, remember when it broke your heart? Remember when it fell apart? Remember when you had something? And at the end, it was like, but at the end of the day, you made it through because that's what you do. You make it through. Damn it, I wish I had an organ right here. That's what you do. See, as a Christian, I had gotten so used to giving God the glory for every victory in my life that I didn't realize that it was me winning those battles every time. I didn't realize that it was me. And so I wrote that song to remind myself that, hey, bro, you are a way maker. Listen to me, homie. You are a miracle worker. Listen to me, bro. No matter what you've gone through, like, watch this. If you're alive right now, everybody do a breath check. All right, you alive. If you're alive right now, it means you've survived everything you thought you wouldn't. So making it through, damn it, is what you do. You become yourself by moving in real time, falling down, getting up, getting hit, bouncing back. And that doesn't mean that you're on your own. It means that the box isn't locked from the outside. You don't need permission to open it. You don't need certainty to take the next step. You don't need a divine guide to start practicing what matters to you. You don't even have to know exactly who you are yet. You just have to start living in a way that feels honest. You just have to start living like you deserve to be here, come what may. Identity isn't something you arrive at. It's something you will grow into. And that box is yours to open. That battle is yours to fight. That victory is yours to win. So let's hit this last point for the weekend so we can roll out. Are y'all ready? You need an anchor, not approval. All right. When we're dealing with identity, concerns, when we're dealing with identity after faith, when we're dealing with identity without a pre-described conclusion, where someone doesn't get to tell you who you are and no one gets to predefine what is right for you and what is wrong for you. You know, when we're dealing with identity, we're trying to move away from approval and into anchor. I don't need approval. What I need is an anchor. The question is, what does a grounded reality look like when it's rooted? What does a grounded identity look like when it's rooted in reality, not approval or certainty? Okay. So here's the tension most people don't realize they're living in. When the labels fall away, we don't just lose language, we lose feedback. We lose the applause. We lose the reassurance, that sense that someone somewhere is keeping score and letting us know we're doing life right. So what we become used to is the circle of applause. What we become used to is the crowd of agreement. What we become used to is the reassurance, the approval. The approval becomes a substitute for certainty. Because they approve, I'm certain I'm doing the right thing. Okay? And if we're honest, a lot of what used to feel like faith was really just approval with a divine accent. approval from God, approval from community, approval from the role that we played well. So when that disappears, we don't just ask, who am I? We ask, am I okay now? Am I wrong? Did I step out of bounds? Am I enough now? Did I just let go of the thing that made me me? And that's where a lot of people quietly rebuild the same system they just left. They swap religious labels for intellectual ones. Different vocabulary, same pressure. Different labels, same limits. Because approval-based identity always needs an audience. It needs agreement. It needs validation. It needs to be seen as correct. But an anchored identity doesn't. An anchored identity doesn't need any of that. An anchor isn't loud, it's lived. It doesn't argue, it activates. It doesn't chase consensus. An anchor holds. I know who I am because I know who I am. When people misunderstand you, when you're not sure what you believe, but you know what you won't betray, that's an anchor. An anchor isn't certainty, it's orientation. An anchor isn't certainty, it's clarity. I may not be certain about everything, but I'm clear on where I stand. I may not be certain on everything, but I'm clear on where I am right now with the information that's available to me right now. I don't have to be certain, but I need to be clear. And that's what the anchor gives me. It's the internal decision that says, I don't need to be right to be whole. I don't, because that was the scariest thing before, right? That if I'm not right, that I'm opening my life up for all type of chaos. So the only way I can be acceptable as a whole person is to always be right. This is why some of you can't be corrected right now, because being right is your defense mechanism. Damn, this is good. Being right is the only way you feel valuable. Being right is the only way you feel loved. You feel like if you wrong one time, that people will see beneath the mask. And so you got to be right. You got to put on a good face. I'm gonna be honest with you. I done got so free now. There's some things I don't even care being right about. Because that's no longer attached to my wholeness. Watch this. I can be wrong and still be whole. Oh man, I hope this is helping somebody. Because I don't live in a paradigm where perfection exists. So quite honestly, most times I'm probably wrong. This is so good. This is so good. So an anchor isn't certainty, it's orientation. It's the internal decision that says, I don't need to be right to be whole. I don't need to be right to be accepted. I'm gonna get some things wrong, and I need the grace to live in that. Oh man, I don't need to win this moment to remain grounded. I don't need everyone's approval to trust my own integrity. That's what changes everything, because once your identity is anchored in your reality, in your values, your lived experience, your capacity for reflection and repair, you stop performing yourself. You stop explaining yourself into exhaustion. You stop shrinking to stay palatable. You stop hardening just to feel safe. A grounded identity doesn't isolate you, it stabilizes you. It allows community to become support instead of surveillance. Connection instead of conformity. Belonging without erasure. You don't need people to define you. You need people who can walk with you while you define yourself. This is why even within secular movements, I've cautioned us to be very careful about this propensity to police others. because that's that slippery slope right back into indoctrination, that other people must have the autonomy to wrestle with who they are in real time. That's the difference between approval and an anchor. Approval asks, will they accept me? An anchor asks, can I live with myself? That's the anchor. After I make this decision, right or wrong, am I okay with myself? Whew. Is this good? Where do I stand with me? And when that answer starts becoming yes, even when it's imperfect, even when it's still quiet, that's when something shifts. Not because you arrived, but because you're rooted. And rooted people don't need to rush to conclusions. I don't need to have that answer because you feel like you have that answer. I don't need to know that outcome because you feel like you know that outcome. And that's really the hardest part about deconverting and deconstructing and dealing with life after faith, is getting comfortable not knowing and knowing why you don't know. Because sometimes the reason you don't know is because you don't care. You know? So Darante, you deconverted now. You're not a Christian anymore. If God didn't create the earth, how'd it get here? Oh, I don't care. Truth be told, that's probably why I was a Christian. Because if I actually cared, I would have figured it out. It couldn't be the way the Bible said it a long time ago. Because that's what care looks like. That's what care looks like. That's why I don't get into a lot of conversations, because people are arguing about stuff they don't even care about. No, care ain't what you say. Care is what you do. No, if you cared. No. If you really cared, you'd be doing the work to figure it out. And so that discomfort you're feeling is the discomfort of actually caring. It's like, damn, I now have to care about where my answers come from. I now have to care about how I get my answers. I now have to care about how I validate information. So in all reality, when you look at that and you look at that for what it is, you didn't lose yourself. You didn't lose your identity. You lost a system that told you who you were. You lost the illusion of certainty. You lost intending, which is something you never really needed. You didn't lose your identity, you gained your opportunity to finally form it. Today's invitation isn't to believe in something different. It's not to adopt a new label. Well, I'm this now. And it's not to have it all figured out. It's an invitation to stop carrying it alone. Bridge City exists for people who are learning how to live, learn, love, and lead honestly after certainty. For people who are thinking differently, feeling differently, becoming differently, and don't want to pretend like they're done. This is a place where you don't have to perform certainty, where questions aren't treated like threats, where growth isn't rushed and identity isn't released. Your life is your life. Your journey is your journey. If fear has been loud lately, if certainty has felt isolated, if you've been learning things that your body hasn't had time to catch up to yet, you belong in a space where becoming is allowed. I don't have to pass a personality test to get in, because I'm still becoming. I may not be who you think I should be, but I'm still becoming. Bridge City isn't here to replace one system with another. It's here to help you build the capacity to live well in the real world with real people without shrinking or hardening. So if you're looking for community without conformity, support without surveillance, and a place to practice life after faith, there's room for you here. You can follow the link on the screen to get started. Thank you for joining us today.
What another great session today. You gotta tell us what your favorite takeaway was from today's conversation. Make sure to leave it in the comments or keep the conversation going on our global campus in the commons space. Speaking of, if you're making the decision to join Bridge City today, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Bridge. We're so glad to have you be a part of our growing community and can't wait for you to get involved. Your first step is to click the link on the screen now. From there, you can join our global campus and take your first steps as a new member. Once you're in, we made the path to connection easy, with brief learning tracks about our campus as well as our mission. By the time you finish your first steps, you'll know more about your new community and how to plug in and begin making a difference. So, if you're ready to join, click the link now, get access to member-only content, conversations, clubs, and even courses. We can't wait to welcome you. For everyone else, if you value these conversations and believe in the work we're trying to do as a global community, let's pause for an opportunity of generosity. Your giving helps make this space accessible, sustainable, and growing. It empowers our bridges to not only reach further, but support more people on the journey. With very little support, we've already accomplished so much. We've impacted hundreds of lives through these Sunday sessions, live events, and now with our global campus. Imagine how much more we could be doing, supporting, and promoting with your consistent financial support. Your weekly or monthly support, large or small, empowers us to establish new spaces, train new leaders, and power new projects that move people forward. That's what Bridge City is all about. The donation link and QR code are on the screen now for anyone who is willing and able to make a statement of support today. We appreciate all of our financial supporters because you help make this possible. And finally, don't keep this to yourself. A bridge is only as effective as the places it reaches. Help us reach new places by sharing this experience with someone and showing them that there's life after uncertainty. Together, we can reach the world.
What an incredible weekend, right? Thank you so much for joining us for the Life's Big Question series. To our visitors, I hope we get a chance to welcome you again next weekend. The first time, you're a visitor. Your second visit, you're a guest. And if you come back a third time, you're as good as family. To our members, make sure to stay updated on events and activities by checking the commons, the clubs, and the calendar of the global campus. That's all for today, Bridge City. Have a people-centric, forward-thinking kind of week. Until next time, keep rising and be the bridge.
made it through hunger, you made it through pain, you made it through drought, and you made it through rain. You rose over conflict, you've conquered your shame. You've done it before and you'll do it again.
You made it through hunger, you made it through pain,
Yeah.
you made it through drought, and you made it through rain. You rose over conflict, you conquered your shame.
Yeah.
You've done it before and you'll
Do it again. There is nothing that can ever take your place, 'cause you made it here. You are one of us, this global human race. You made it here.
There is nothing that can ever take your place.
'Cause you made it here. You are
human race. You made it here. There is nothing that can ever take your place. You made it here. You are one of us, this global human race. You made it here. If you know that you made it, come on, stand up and say it. If you know that you made it, don't let them hold you back any longer. If you know that you made it, come on, stand up and say it. Don't let them hold you back any longer. If you know that you made it, come on, say it. Come on, stand up and say it. If you know that you made it, don't let them hold you back any longer. 'Cause there is nothing that can ever take your place. You are one of us, this global human race. Oh, there's nothing that could ever take your place. Is anybody glad that you made it?